Thank you.
And I'm going to talk a little bit about mRoot and root DNS system. So this is the IX forum, and most of you are interested would be layer 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to talk about the DNS. Okay. So in general, the root DNS servers, you may be able to see this web page, www.root-servers.org. So root server itself has a .NET suffix, but in the case of the publication through the web, we use .org. Okay? And the number of the total sites now exceed 1,100. Okay. This is not the number of the physical servers, because large site, the multiple servers are consisted with the load balancer. But in recently, due to the powerful servers available, and the smaller site may only run one UPC. So the sizes highly depends on the location. And recently, root server may not only run on the bare metal servers, but sometimes depend on the cloud services such as PCH or Cloudflare or something like that. This is because in order to install the bare metal servers, we may need to negotiate with the various parties local to the exchange point or data center or something like that. But in the case of the colocation, the server itself already established, so it is very easy to deploy root DNS server on top of those infrastructures. Okay. And this is any-casted. So if one of the servers disappears, it doesn't affect the services significantly. Okay. So same letters has the same IP address and announced to the BGP routing system. So if one of the server crashes, your query will be directed to one of the nearest location in terms of the BGP, which may not be the shortest round trip time or something like that. Okay. And anyway, you got the answer. So this is the growth of the root DNS services in these years. So now we have the slightly more than 1,100. Okay. And not only all of the root servers are global. About slightly less than 40% services are local, which is limited to the community, like a Brazilian internet community or something like that. Okay. And other 60% are global, serving to the global internet. So in terms of the IPv6, the root DNS servers, almost 95% of the site support IPv6. So this is one of the great effort for the root operator to support IPv6 extensively. Now, there are 152 countries economics root servers are available thanks to the Anycast technology. Otherwise, we are able to install only 13 countries. That is not enough numbers at this moment, but thanks to the Anycast technology, we may be able to deploy this number. Okay. So I tried to investigate the Brazilian root DNS servers. So currently, we have almost 40 root servers in this country. Okay. And the E has 6 instances, F6, I2, J7, K1, and L19 instances in this country. This is a great number. In terms of the Japanese case, we have the slightly less than 20. So I think the population of Brazil is double or slightly more than double in comparison with Japanese cases. So the number of the root DNS server per population doesn't change significantly at this moment. So mRoot has been started to operate in 1997. Initially, it was provisioned in Los Angeles at USCISI, but moved to Tokyo in August of 1997. So, and the WIDE project is a research consortium based in Japan, responsible to operate mRoot, but we have no enough financial background. So we have jointly working together with JPRS, which is a .jp registry. Okay, so, and currently we have 9 sites. In Tokyo, we have 3 clusters, Osaka, Seoul, and a couple of clusters in San Francisco, and 2 clusters in Paris. But unfortunately, this is not a good number because the 9 sites are the 9th largest among 13 letters. So we'd like to expand our footprint in order to serve the internet community better. In the case of mRoot, all of the sites are IPv6 ready. And the average traffic is about 55,000 QPS, query per second, and which is about the 1/13th of entire traffic to the root DNS system. In terms of the IPv6, the ratio is slightly less than 20%, and the number is getting increased gradually. Okay. And eDNS support is significantly improved in these years, and now 85%. So most of the DNS servers, especially in the resolver side, are trying to send the queries to possible DNS servers. There are multiple servers available. Then the modern resolver would like to choose one with the shortest round trip time in order to provide a faster response. But in order to measure which one is shortest, the resolver may need to send query to all other possible servers occasionally. And this is true especially for the internet topology may change over time in order to find the latest, best servers available. So this is the reason why the mRoot is currently planning to have an instance in this country. So we are talking with NIC.br for the possibility of the NICAS site at IX.br in Sao Paulo. Okay. So the various technical and non-technical, I mean the higher layer negotiation will be done. So please stay tuned. Okay. And the root DNS servers are only serving root zone and ARPA zone and root servers.net zone. So only 3 zones. And among them, root and ARPA has been signed via DNSSEC, but unfortunately at this moment, root-servers.net zone is not signed. There was a significant discussion if this zone is to be signed or not, but initially we end up to leave unsigned at this moment. So it may be a good moment to rethink about if we are able to sign root-servers.net zone safely. Okay. So, and this is the delegation of the root zone. Okay, so initially we have about the slightly more than 200 delegations, which is mainly for CCTLDs. But when ICANN started new GTLD program, the delegation increased significantly to slightly less than 1,600. But recently, the number is slightly decreasing, so that the new GTL program is beneficial to big companies like Toyota or big cities like Tokyo. But unfortunately, it is not a big commercial market anymore. So the general use new TLD is not increased in these days. So one of the point of the root DNS system is that the KSK rollover has been done in the last year from the autumn through the spring of this year. The rollover has been completed without any significant problem. So in the ICANN is trying to change their mind to speed up the KSK rollover period. Initially, it was assumed that every 7 years, but the operators has preferred to have more than that, like every 3 years, every 5 years, or something like that. So currently, ICANN is planning to have the KSK rollover in every 3 years. So if you have any comment on this ICANN's plan, there is a public comment available whose due is at the end of next month, January 2020. So if you have any comment, please write it. And I personally prefer to use ECDSA or ED255-19 based key algorithm so that the DNS packet is much, much smaller than the current RSA-based key. So in order to avoid the long packet or fragmentation issues. So I think the BR has using ECDSA-based key. So this is a good example how we are able to migrate a KSK key algorithm into new one. Okay. So in the KSK rollover, there is very few issues reported, but one of the obvious one is if you are going to install the software with all the package, which may include only KSK 2010. Okay. Unfortunately, KSK 2010 has been revoked already and removed. So RFC 5011 based automatic KSK rollover is not possible. So if you are going to install the new DNS software, please make sure that you have the KSK 2017. Okay. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the privacy issues. In IETA deeply working group discussing about how to improve the privacy of DNS. So DNSSEC is only guarantee the response is correct. But DNSSEC doesn't have any encryption at all. So it may have some privacy issues. So the DNS over HTTPS or DNS over TLS, DOH or DOT is being standardized and started the operation. And some ISPs are offering DOH-based services. And web browsers such as Mozilla Firefox is going to support DOH with the latest versions. Okay. But in the case of the ISP's full service resolver and the authoritative server, there is no standard established yet. Because in the case of root DNS server, we have huge number of the queries from various large number of the resolvers. So it is impossible to maintain every communication states. So, and for those folks who are working on the web industry, it may be possible, but they have a huge amount of income available. But in the case of root DNS, we have no income. Okay, we don't charge you. So it is not possible to install the same consideration on the possible DNS and the web services. So the discussion is still going on in Deep and other working groups. But my recommendation, it's not official, but my recommendation is to use two tools. One is a QNAME minimization, which is defined in RFC 7816. In this case, only TLDs are included in the query in the root. So root may be able to know who sent the query to .com, but no other portion of the QNAME is included, so that it could improve the privacy. And it also has a benefit that if you type in COMM rather than COM by typo, then traditional method doesn't have any negative cache effect effectively. But with QNAME minimization installed, then the resolver may be able to know, oh, COMM doesn't exist. So if another person did the same typo, the resolver may be able to respond to you promptly with NX domain. So this is one of the good effects. And another one is the aggressive use of cache based on the DNSSEC. So DNSSEC may allow you to have the NSEC or NSEC3 at the range of non-existence in very authentic manner. So by using this, the DNS software may be able to synthesize NX domain. So with the latest version of the DNS software, both techniques has been installed, and in some cases turned on by default. So if you are operating the full service resolvers to your customers at the ISP, please try to consider turn on those functions in order to improve the efficiency to the DNS system and also improve the customer's privacy. So this is the end of my talk this morning. So if you have any question, I'm here for today. So I very much appreciate if you have any discussion with me. Thank you very much. Obrigado.
Any comments or questions to Dr. Akira Kato?
I have a question. So, Kato, would you like to talk a little bit on, you talk regarding your talks with NIC.br, but you have plans for other service areas in the world as well?
Okay. I'm talking with APNIC as well. And .br case and APNIC case would be our test case. And based on the lessons we need to learn, and then we may be able to deploy more instances thanks to the support of APNIC or in some cases LACNIC or in the local internet registries. So it cannot be done in a week or months, but it takes years. But we have the plan to enhance our footprint to serve the internet community better.
Well, thank you very much, Kato.
A round of applause, please.